Hey everybody, it is time for this week's critique video, and we've got a menagerie. We've got varying assignments turned in this week and over the break. So I want to start with Katie's Unit 12, and this is her personal choice. You might remember from last week that Katie did her Unit 11, which was, she did some portraits, like some high school photos, and this week she decided to do the Peanut Festival. Okay, so let's take a look at those. Let's see if she had anything she wanted to tell us. Okay, so National Peanut Festival, and it's a tradition. And your baby girl, so funny. I mean, it's weird that kids are growing up in the age of COVID now. And so, you know, they spent years at home. And so this is the first year she really got to get out there. So that's pretty cool. Started out fun and exciting. And then there was an incident. Well, I would die to know what that incident was, because it looks like there was a lot of police involved. So you're going to have to tell us, because I would love to know. And that's funny. She was upset because no one was throwing out candy, but then the peanuts came. So good thing those peanuts are in shells, right? It's like a natural wrapper. All right, let's take a look at Katie's in your folder. And this is the very moment we just spoke of. Getting those peanuts into the little paper bags. So cute. Of course, she's got her Crocs. Such a big deal these days, aren't they? All the kids have them. It's like the second coming of the Croc. And looks like you had some, like a cool car show. Is that a Lambo? I can't tell if this little eagle is the symbol of a Lamborghini, but it looks like it because of the doors. I could be way off. And here we've got, this is kind of cool. I like seeing, you know, the man on the tractor, and then he's got his own flag, and then here's Dollar General. This is, you know, pretty epic shot. And then here we have the police coming in, and you did like a color splash there with just the lights. So I think that one's interesting as well. And you gotta tell me what happened. Did somebody run down the street naked, or that would be the most innocent thing probably. And then here it looks like there's something all over the road, like maybe the incident was a crash. And there goes Miss Cora Beth. She's so cute. I love her outfit. So this is a good one too. And then it's interesting to me that you chose this image for the color splash of, you know, it's basically just skin color and red sneakers, right? But I still like it. I find the people in the background very interesting. There's so much to look at here. Myself, I would have liked to see this in full color, just because it makes everybody important, and I think I would really like to see that kind of like continuity in the line going throughout the image. So for me, I'd love to see this one in color. And let's see. And there is Miss Peanut. I guess she's the queen of the peanut, or Princess Peanut. I'm not sure what the titles are. You'll have to share that with me. But as far as I know, she's Princess Peanut. But very pretty. This is nice. And then I love this action shot with the flag girl in her mid-spin. So excellent job with the fast shutter speed, capturing that motion. You know, she's at a good angle and her hair's swinging and we can see all of the band. Very nice. And then this is our mascot. Not sure. He must be a ram, maybe? A mountain sheep? Yeah. So, pardon me for not knowing the names of the teams. But I like this shot, and it's interesting again that you did color splash. That's what we used to call it back in the I don't know, the aughts. 2008, 7, 8. And then here's your contact sheet. Now your contact sheet kind of reminds me of a collage. So I have to wonder, are you making your contact sheets in Photoshop? You know, are you using the automated contact sheet prep in there? Because it's going to look a certain kind of a way. And most of your images, I feel, in your contact sheet are edited. So for your contact sheet, ideally, you want to give us the unedited images so that, you know, we can kind of zoom in on them and see what improvements you've made. And, you know, ultimately, that's what I would like to see. But you got a lot of really good pictures here. I could say easily you could have 10 between this, and I would call this an event. So event photography. Yeah, you can have a series of 10 out of these and just choose your best and save that as your personal choice category. And again, I would love to see your contact sheet as just a actual contact sheet with the original images. You know, that would be nice for all of us to see. So hopefully you can share that and what the incident was, because I think we're all dying to know. Maybe it's just me, but you know what it's like when you're on the highway and somebody gets pulled over and everything slows down because people are interested. They want to know what happened. So please let us know what the incident was. Okay, so that's Katie's Unit 12. And let's look back at... Okay, so here's Katie's prints for Unit 13. We might as well continue with Katie. So Katie, there's some information that you didn't share with us. So let's go back to see what you wrote. And I see here that you did write right back to the critique video about Unit 11. Remember, everyone, that we need to do feedback for Unit 12. And I see Tatum has, Madison has, Angela has, and then Katie got Unit 11. So remember, that is a 100-point grade there for you. If I can get that to work. Okay. Alright, so that's the Unit 12 feedback. Okay, and we need Katie's Unit 13. See what Katie has to say about this. So she said she chose to use a picture printed at Walmart and one that was published in the program for the National Peanut Festival pageant. The glossy photo is a lot clearer and the colors seem to pop more, and the ad page seems very flat on the thinner paper. More depth from the picture from Walmart, which I would consider low end, than there is in the one in the book. Okay, so you said that you like the matte prints from Walmart and that they look professional and crisp. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at your images. So from what you said, I have to guess that this is your Walmart print because it's obviously very glossy, and this is one of your portrait sittings. I'm guessing that maybe this is a senior portrait. Could be wrong, but you know, gorgeous image, great idea for a print, and I can tell that you chose the glossy surface, you know, that we see these reflections, and I'm fine with that because that really shows us about the surface quality of the paper. So this was your favorite, and I'm going to guess that's an 8 by 10. I may be wrong, but you might want to share this with this person. You know, she would probably, I don't know, you could probably charge her a few bucks for an 8 by 10 glossy of this image. But I would contact her and find out, definitely, or her parents. And then the other image, you have your image, which is printed in the little flyer for the event. And honestly, Katie, I can't count this as your print because you created the image, but it's not actually your print. So you can understand that printing in a magazine is completely different than printing a photo. Number one, it's not done on photo paper. They call a print like this on a magazine page a full bleed because it goes all the way to the edge. And this looks great. I wonder if you did the lettering or if that was added in for you. But yeah, I need one more print from you in order to count this assignment because, like I said, they're completely different. One is actually on photo paper and it's a photo print. This one is printed on, you know, just glossy magazine pages, very thin, and you didn't really get the experience of doing it yourself. So this is a redo. Okay, let's go to the next person, which is, let's go with Angela, because Angela, we are on Unit 14 with Angela. So Angela's way ahead of everybody. And she's already completed her historical process, and she chose to do cyanotypes and had a ball. That was such a present for me to hear about how exciting that was for you, Angela. I think you can tell how happy I was. And so these are really, really good examples that Angela has presented for the cyanotype process. So basically, what you do is you take your image, you print it on a transparency, which is a clear sheet of printer paper. So I've given you all the material for that. You can't just print it though. You have to, in Photoshop, you have to go to the image and then invert, and I'll show you that real quick. Okay, so here I've opened up one of Katie's personal choice event images, and I'm going to go up to, let's see, Image, Adjustments, and then down to Invert, which you can see has a keystroke, which would be Command I. So Invert. And there we have the color version of the opposite, right? So this is inverted. You could also choose to make it black and white. So now, let's see, if I go back to the things that I've done here, I can go back to Open and start from the beginning. I can do Image Adjustments. I could do black and white. I could do desaturate. I can also go to the mode and make it grayscale. So those are 3 choices to make an image black and white. If you do the mode, then it's one of those things that's permanent. So you want to make sure you have an original that you saved. So I'm going to go to Image Adjustments, and I'm going to go to Desaturate. Okay, so that's going to take out the colors. Now you might notice that some of the colors look a little bit dull, so you can always increase the contrast so you get a stronger image with your blacks and whites, and that will help you a lot with a cyanotype. Just an FYI. Okay, so now we've got the black and white image. Now we can go to Image, Adjustments, Invert. Maybe. Oh, you see what I did? I'm on the adjustment layer, so that's not going to work. I got to go to the background. Okay, so select, I'm sorry, Image, Adjustments, Invert. There we go. Okay, so now this is one I want to print on the transparency for those of you who haven't tried that yet. So now I've got to go File, Save As, and save this inverted copy. I usually, like I've told you, I like to keep the file name as it is and then just add anything I did at the end of the file name. So I would call this one whatever it is and then invert. So then you would print that on your transparency paper, and that's what you're going to put over top of your painted cyanotype paper or whatever process you chose and expose it to light. And that will give you an awesome print. Nice contrast. Okay, now we're going to go back to Angela. Okay, so here's Angela, and she got way into this. And she also commented on my comments from last week, so that's really nice. I looked into National Photo Lab actually, and they seem pretty good. Yes, you must do all things chemistry. All chemical photography is the most fun thing ever. So I fully expect you to set up a dark room in your bathroom, in your garage, and you will love it. So yeah, flowers, leaves, that would be a photogram. And if you want to try it on t-shirts, oh, it's so fun for kids. They will just lose their minds. And something that's really fun for photograms is to try objects that are transparent or have semi-transparency as opposed to things that are solid, and you'll see differences in detail, and so that's really fun for kids. So I love that you made 30 prints. Some were under or overexposed. Yeah, you really gotta, once you hit that perfect timing with the material that you've chosen, You know, it's like the sweet spot. So you chose some orange twinkle lights. That's really smart. You know, usually you think of the red light bulb. So red or orange, both of those colors work for lighting while you're working in your dark room. That's while you're painting the paper. And if you have any light coming through a crack, it's going to affect your prints. So you've got to block everything out and just have your orange or red light. Really thick watercolor paper. And I noticed that in your prints, actually. So I want to go to your folder to show your prints. Just so we can see them in their entirety. So here we've got our girl, Paige. And when I look at this closely, so I'm gonna zoom out or zoom in. Oh well, I'm not going to worry about it. But if you look really closely, you can see how the texture of the watercolor paper really affected the quality of your print. And I think that's very interesting. I love it. I love all the texture. This one could have been exposed a little bit longer. And if you had tried increasing the contrast on your transparencies, you also would have had some nice deep color where the blacks should be, you know, would be a deeper blue. But I think it's really wonderful. And then little Charlie Quinn here, look at all of that texture. Crazy. Just the texture of the paper, you know, the surface quality of that watercolor paper. It's almost like pointillism, you know, with all the little dots. So this is really fun, and you've got all these other textures. So I think this is really cool. I mean, we don't see any detail on her nose, so maybe that's one that you could work on to have some stronger contrast. And then this one, I loved seeing your son for the first time and meeting him, and look at him. He's got quite a catch there. Oh, such a pretty girl. So I'm guessing that this is maybe prom or a spring dance. I think he's in college now, so not sure if that's prom or, you know, what the big events are in college, or if he's even at Wallace. Not sure about that either. I don't remember. Forgive me. But love those. And again, look at those textures. So cool. This is great. You got some super deep blues. So your transparency must have turned out really, really dark. I'm sorry, really, really light, because the light was able to come through and really saturate those colors. And then you had a little bit of blacks, and that's where we see the white. So this is kind of a fascinating print. I think this is probably your best print, even though I like some of the other pictures better. But you've got the deepest blues, and that's something that we look for with cyanotypes. But I am so proud of you, Angela. You did an amazing job, you know, going above and beyond, way ahead of us. And I love how things turned out. Okay, and I think finally we've got Ellis. So we're going to go back and look at Ellis. Okay, so Ellis he also chose Walmart and Nations Photo Lab, or should I just say, also chose Nations Photo Lab, which was smart. And then it took a while for him to get his prints, and that's totally okay, because we can turn these in up until this coming Sunday. So no worries about that. And he said the color from the Walmart photos is much flatter and less nuanced. I like those describers. The resolution is higher quality at the Nation's photos. Okay, so that's all good information. But when I go to your images, Ellis, and I'm just going to look in your folder at this one. Let's see if I can make it a little smaller to fit in the frame. This is where you've kind of stumped me. So what I see when I look carefully with my supervision is that this image has a shine to it. It also is very textured. Other than that, I can't tell too much. And then this image, the larger image, doesn't appear to have a shine at all. It's larger, so I honestly could not tell you from the information you've given me which one is which. I would guess that this is the Walmart photo because it doesn't have a textured paper, and usually they give you, the choice of luster or matte. So this may be luster, maybe matte. I can't tell what's going on with the surface quality because your lighting is just so good. This one, however, I can see the shine and I can see the texture. It appears to have more detail. So I may be wrong, but I'm going to guess that this is the Nation's Photo Lab. So what I need from you, Ellis, is I need some more information. I need to know which is which. I need to know, did you choose a luster or a gloss? Did you choose a textured paper? And here, did you choose a luster or a matte or a gloss? And I know that those are all choices. So you're going to have to tell me that before we can talk further about your images. Okay, so I'm looking forward to hearing from you, Ellis, hearing a little more so you can get the best grade possible. Okay, now that said, all that said, we have an announcement this week that tells us a lot of things. So let's take a look at that. And we've got some important dates. Okay, so coming this Sunday, you need to have turned in units 13 and 14. So 13 is printing, 14 is your historical process, whatever you chose. And then we've got boom, 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 boom. So we did get to have a nice long break, but now everything's due because the end of the semester will be here in like the blink of an eye. So on the 11th, you're going to turn in your final portfolio images in a PDF. So look into this assignment in the discussion board because you need 10 images from personal choice and 3 to 4 additional categories, each with a minimum of 3 images. So that's December 11th. And then the 12th, so this is a Sunday. The 12th, Monday, your website is due. So you're going to have to work on both of these things at the same time, choosing your final images, uploading them to your website. Spend some time working on that website because it's going to take you a while to figure things out. Even if you have all of the directions and it seems super simple, you're going to have to make sure all of your links work and you've got your best images. Okay, now on the 13th, anything that you haven't submitted yet, or you want to resubmit for a higher score, this is the day to do that. I will also be giving you a feedback video on both your final portfolio and your website, so that on the 14th you can respond. And if there's anything that you needed to fix up, or that I said, oh, I would really prefer that you did this or this, and I'm going to expect to see those improvements in response to my feedback. Okay, so I know that this is really a lot, but you know, you have, if you've done 13 and 14 already, those are just turning in. And so you've got this week and up till the 11th to get these two things ready. Okay, so it's not that terrible. I know it looks terrible. But remember, most of your work is done. You've already got your images done. Maybe you have some editing to do, not sure. But it's just putting them together into a document and then uploading them to a website. So you really, really, really want to submit your best work, completely edited, but spend some time. You're going to need to spend, I would say, a minimum of a few days learning to navigate how to create your website and how to make everything work. Okay, and you need to start researching early. Now, if you get these things done in advance, please send them to me so that I can give you advice before the fact. And that's the smartest thing to do. Okay, so don't wait till the last second and then I'm like, you need to do this, this, and this, and it's already too late. So I want you to get the highest score and the best quality final portfolio and website. All right, I'm looking forward to seeing your work, and I'll talk to y'all soon.